Alright, it's Jared here from Crypto Plan. I hope everyone is doing well, and today is a day of celebration for me and anyone else that has also seen the writing on the wall about 6 months ago, maybe longer ago, that blockchain miners were the thing to invest in, and Argo Blockchain has just become my first 10 bagger, my first 10x stock, and I'm super proud of that because I've held it for a long time, I've added to it over time, and I've also taken some profits for it. But right now, from my cost basis of 5 pence, it is now at 58 pence, and I have a return of 10,034. So give me a little pat on the back and give you a big massive pat on the back if you were invested in Argo, Hive, RIOT Blockchain, Marathon Patent Group, any of these Bitcoin miners out there that are in this progressive space where costs are fairly fixed and the price of the assets that they're mining are going up rapidly. And we all know what's happened to the price of Bitcoin recently, and my bet on Bitcoin was on Bitcoin miners, not on Bitcoin. Now I know Bitcoin's gone up 200 or 300% this year, but you can see that the Bitcoin miners have gone parabolically above that. And just look at this graph here. You know, we were flat for so long, and then some action happened, and then the last few days has just gone to the moon. And that's what price discovery can do for a stock. You know, a stock like Argo Blockchain that had a kind of a ceiling of 17 cents, once it kicked through that and confirmed that it kicked through that, money flooded in there, and that stock just went up and up and up. Anyway, I'm going to now just have a look at the market and go over to the Bitcoin chart again and just see what's happening there, because I did do a video recently that said that I believe it's the local top, and I don't know about you, but this kind of looks like a top to me. You know, if you look at the stats that we've got in front of us, that in the past about 170% above this long-term trend line that I've put in on several occasions. You know, so back here 170%, we've had a 35% correction, a 270%, we've had a 35-38% correction. So there's historical evidence that somewhere around now a correction is due. So based on that fact, I put this in here. I saw the top happening. I saw this, you know, this real kind of reach to the top very quickly. So you can see this bang, 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 high, big green bars, and then it's fallen fairly regularly since. And then this particular wick here told me that it wanted to reach lower, and now there's a bit of consolidation going on, but I believe that there's another few steps to go in that, and somewhere in that 19.4 range is my particular target. But I don't know, like, you tell me, do you think it's a top? It kind of looks like a top. You know, we've come up here, created a little bit of a shoulder, another bit of a shoulder, then bang up, and that looks pretty cliffy and toffy and peaky, like the tippy top of a, you know, a small edge of a mountain. Not saying it's the all-time top, because I have also said in that last video that, you know, up to 300,000 is probably the end of this bull run. The very tippy top, depending on what happens in the rest of the world and US markets and devaluing of the US dollar, blah, blah, blah. But this will be the correction, and I think it's going to be that kind of 40% correction back down just below 20k briefly, and then onwards and out of there. So that's that. That's Bitcoin. Now I'm going to go over to this daily chart and just kind of see what's going on over here. And I just want to kind of go through the coins on the daily basis. Now, we know what's happening with Bitcoin, that it's pulling back a little bit. Ethereum went hard and pulling back a bit. And, you know, these long wicks are tug of wars going on. The market is deciding whether it is in alt season or not. XRP, now we all know what's going on here, but still it's a little bit of a tug of war, like green day, red day, green day, green day, red day. So a bit of a tug of war going on there. Stellar trying to break out, but it's hit this line of resistance and there's a bit of pullback. And even today, I'm seeing, you know, things like XRP in the green and then going heavily in the red, you know, in the last 15 minutes. VeChain, big move up, big move back, you know, like there's candles that are nearly embodying the other candles. So there's tugs of war going on all over the shop, you know, like look at Dash in the last, you know, month or so, it's just up and down and up and down and up and down. A big tug of war going on there. EOS, similar. Theta, that's a bit of an outlier, but even the last few days, big run up, then pull back, right down, and then correction again on the upside. So there's a lot of a tug of war going on. Things want to go up, and then they're pulling back. And then even RIOT and MARA have had pullbacks in the last few days, where they start the day strong and then they pull back, and start the day strong and then pull back, so like the pre-market trading is large, and then people are selling, so there's a bit of a shift in funds going on. But like I say, not with Argo Blockchain. It's in price discovery, it's in the London stock market, and it is going moon time. I've got a target of £1 for that, but I think it could possibly reach out to even £2, or £1.5. Yeah, I think I'll probably sell out the most of it, just over £1, and then kind of leave, maybe 1,000 units just to see where it goes till the very, very end. Because I'm planning to roll most of it over into gold, silver, and copper stocks. So that's the next little wave that I want to ride, and I want to get in early enough on that, because that kind of train has already started chugging along. And I will do a video on my watch list of mining stocks that I believe everyone should put on their watch list, especially if you're using Trading 212. So I've created a Trading 212 precious metals watch list, basically with a little bit of rare earth in there. Basically, I think the better stocks to follow, and cherry pick your way through them and find those dips to kind of add to your positions. But that's it for today. Just a little bit of a congratulatory video to myself and to the people that saw the writing on the wall and saw the light that would be shining on the blockchain miners. And well done to Argo Blockchain holders in particular. And I will leave it there because, there was just a bit of news, and I saw people kind of asking about in other channels about people doing videos on Argo Blockchain, and they do a monthly report on their website and on Twitter. I've noticed they link to that, and they have just mined 97 or 93 Bitcoin equivalent. So I think they mine Bitcoin as well as Zcash and maybe some other things, but they calculate it in equivalents of Bitcoin. So similar to what gold and silver miners do. So if they've got mainly gold but a bit of silver, they calculate the silver to be a gold equivalent. So then it's easier just to report the earnings. But all in all, cash on cash, there's an increase in profit from November to December. So positive things from a business perspective, that mining margins have gone up. So per Bitcoin equivalent, there's more profit in it, obviously, because the price has gone up. And even though the total mine has gone down, it means that the actual net profit or the gross profit has gone up. So once again, fixed costs, more profits. So we'll see as Bitcoin goes up, this mining margin will increase to a fact where it might be nearly 80-90% of the Bitcoin is all profit. So that's going to be crazy times, and it's the parabolic exponential curve of these Bitcoin miners that's interesting. Now, the negative play in that is that I think that the algorithm's getting harder. The more miners that are introduced into the network, the harder the algorithm is, so the harder it is to actually get the Bitcoins. So if we're seeing Marathon Patent Group and RIOT and Argo Blockchain invest in more miners, then imagine what China's doing. Imagine what the other big players and the rest of the world are doing. They're doubling and tripling down their mining rigs, which is just adding that hash rate to the network, which adds complexity to the algorithm, which then lowers your actual Bitcoin discovery or input to your balance sheet. But hopefully the increase in the Bitcoin price outweighs the reduction in Bitcoins mined. But we'll see. We'll see which one of the three actually wins the race to refine their processes and get the most profit gained from increasing their Bitcoin mining. So I'm seeing things like partnerships go on where they're doing mining pools where put all your miners together, and then you take out the percentage of hash rate that you put in back, minus costs, obviously. So Marathon Patent Group's doing things like that, and I think Argo Blockchain is also teaming up with a privately listed company in the USA and doing a similar thing. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with those sort of ventures, if the synergy of adding miners together actually gets more Bitcoins than them individually on their own. And I guess it lowers the cost because of the electricity and the rent of the factory space and all that kind of thing. So could be a good play, and I think it's a smart play to see these guys teaming up and being more efficient that way. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there and say thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.